Yesterday I had a kid, a kid, 26-year-old gentleman, came to my office, and I had one of the company trucks for sale, and he was interested in buying it. And younger Hispanic gentleman had a landscaping business, and he negotiated me down to like a few $100s less than what I was asking for. And he said that's all he had. He put the reach in his pocket, and he pulled out a certain amount of money, and he said that's all I got. I really wanted the truck, and his truck was down. He really was desperate, and it was his own business, landscaping business. And I thought about it. I needed a few $100 more for the truck, but I don't know. I just felt it'll be the right thing to do, just letting him have the truck for whatever he had is in his pocket, and because I could tell that's all he had. So he was just, he couldn't believe it that I actually let him have the truck for that price. He thanked me and all that. And anyways, I had him come to my office so we can do the paperwork. And as we're sitting down talking, I asked him a little bit more. I just out of curiosity, because I could tell he's a young guy just trying to grow his business, and I really appreciate that. I was inspired. I saw a lot of him in me when I was younger, when I was his age, and I just wanted to do things. And at the time, I did have a business, I had partners, and I was aggressive. And so I told him, I asked him actually, how did you, become a business owner? And he responded, he was working with his dad since he was a kid, and his dad all of a sudden passed away a couple years ago, young age, and so he ended up inheriting the business. He had to take over. And I said, wow, that was, frankly, I didn't expect to hear that, but I paused for a second or two, and I said, I really admire you, just, not evading the responsibility, and just, taking over what your, his dad had started. And I said, so what's your plan? What's your goal? And he said, well, I'm gonna. He only had one other helper, and I advised him on a couple of things. I told him that what I would suggested to him is to bring another person on board, because he didn't have any time. He put in like 10-12 hours a day, working, and he didn't have time to market. And I said, I'm sure there are times that you wish that you had more help, that you could do more work, and or take on more jobs. And he said, yeah. He just yes, exactly. I really do. There are a lot of times that I really think that I wish I had more help. I said, well, why don't you bring it on board? And I knew the answer. Obviously, most small business owners, they think cost of labor. So I told him, I said, you bring one person on board, train him. You have time to put some flyers on a few doors, because with landscaping, and I could tell that he had a lot of ideas, but he just didn't have time to do it. He landscape designing, and I mentioned that to him. I said, you have a lot of great ideas. Why don't you just expand your ideas and get a few certificates, go to a couple of classes, and get your license, become a landscape artist, designer. And because he goes, yeah, his eyes just, whiteness in his eyes. I said, yes, yes. He goes, he got all excited, and I told him, I said, I could see that you have a lot in you. It's just you just don't have the time. I asked him if he's married. He said very soon. I said, well, you see, there you go. You're gonna have more responsibility now on your shoulder. This is a perfect time. And I mentioned to him that back in the days when I was working, I used to go out in the field. Even when I was younger, before I started my own business, I was. We were to when we were on a job site, we were supposed to hand out flyers. They used to say 5 to 10 homes to the right, 5 to 10 homes to the left, and 5 to 10 homes across the street. So that's about roughly about 20-25 homes, and out of those, if you get one respond, there you go. You got one extra sale. Especially with him, it's an ongoing project because he goes back. He has to maintain the lawn and the trees, and he said, yes, I do tree trimming. I said, that's a great. There's good demand for that, so. Long story short, he was just. I mean, it was supposed to be just simple selling one of my company trucks, and it turned into this great conversation and he was all, thank you so much. I mean, I didn't expect it. That's what he said, is that I didn't expect this, so these are great advice. I said, well, you know what, I didn't expect you coming in here. And I fed off of his energy. I could tell that he was reaching. He was, I'm so observant, and I really strongly believe in. We are in charge of our destiny. We do create everything around us. We do create every person that comes into our lives. Friends, family members, and strangers, total strangers. I mean, here he is, a total, supposedly stranger. He inspired me. He got me motivated. So as I'm speaking with him, I was really speaking to myself. I was talking to me. It's that I wanted to bring that younger, energy back, and I do have it in me. I mean, we don't. As we grow older, that doesn't go away. That's just, it's there. And I use the analogy of hard drive. It's, you close a file, it's there, even though you don't see it on your desktop. It's not open, but it's running in the background. It's always there. So you just gotta see if you can find it. So that's all it is, and it is moments like this that I do go back and search for those lost files, lost momentum, lost energy, and I thanked him, for him inspiring me, because that's it was actually, that's exactly, he did do that without even knowing that he did it, and. So, bottom line, it's good to be mindful. It's good to be mindful of your surroundings, people that come into your lives. A total stranger, a person just you run into out in the store, or the business interactions, or personal interactions. If we're just mindful of positive, and you just constantly give out positive energy, because it'll come back hundreds times bigger. And again, I'm a believer in that. And I must say, do I do it every day? Do I every minute, every hour? Probably not, definitely not. But I am mindful, and I just wanted to share that.